Hello, friends. My name is Charmaine from To Witch Isle, and this is a witch's cauldron. We're getting close to the end of the year, so I thought it was important to share my top 3 skills I use during this time of year. I have found that my life is often a lot like the seasons, and just like the plants, I need down, restful rejuvenation time in order to get back to that spring productivity. And this season just happens to be it for me. Sometimes for people it's summer, but for me it's this time of year, the winter. And so it makes the winter holidays really tough. So these are the 3 important skills that I need for this type of year. And I hope that sharing these skills helps you make it through your holiday season. The first skill comes from dialectical. Ay, ay, ay. I always mess up how I say that the first time. Dialectical behavioral therapy. There we go. It's DBT. It's easier to say DBT, but some of you might not know what DBT is. That's what it is, dialectical behavioral therapy. This is a skill that comes from being in that therapy, and it is mindfulness. It's one of the big skills. It encompasses a lot of things. Without mindfulness, there isn't much you can do about controlling the reactions that you have or dealing with your emotions even. Mindfulness is the practice of being present in the moment on purpose without judgment and not clinging to the moment. So, no clinging to the moment, being in the moment, not thinking about the past, not worrying about the future, being there on purpose, meaning you're intentionally thinking about this moment. And then you're not judging it. That's the most important. You do not judge it on purpose without judgment. Some of us like to think we're doing things on purpose, but we're not really intentionally doing anything. We just happen to be there and go, yeah, I was present. But that might not always be true, especially if you have intrusive thoughts. I have a lot of intrusive thoughts. So this skill of being present in the moment on purpose without judgment and not clinging to that moment is very, very important. Now, this is important for the next 2 that I'm going to share. And these next 2 are both acronyms. The first is HALT. It comes from AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, I believe. I'm not sure if they coined it, but I know they use it a lot. And it does help in more aspect than just substance abuse. It helps when you have PTSD as well. So the acronym HALT stands for hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. Are you any one of those things? And if you're any one of those things, take care of that thing first. Because when you take care of that thing, you'll think clearer. You'll have better judgment. You will be able to tap into that mindfulness and being present. Because if you're hungry, you know what it's like to be hangry. And angry by itself is terrible. But when you're angry and hungry, it's terrible. Lonely because all of us as humans need connection. And tired. If you're tired, sleep is so important. You can go crazy without good sleep. I have not gotten good sleep before in long segments of time. And yes, my brain would concoct all sorts of crazy truths because it was deprived of what it needs to regenerate and to store stuff where it belongs. Your brain needs downtime. Your brain needs the sleep. Okay, so that was HALT. Please, please skills. What does please stand for? And why don't I use it as much? Please is hard for me to remember off the top of my head. It is an acronym, but it's a little harder because all the first letters aren't necessarily the first word of what it means. So I don't use it as often for that reason. However, when I find that I'm using HALT excessively, then it's usually because I need to go to please skills. So what does please stand for? PL is for physical illness. E is for balanced eating. A is for avoiding mood altering substances. S is for balanced sleep. And E is for exercise. each one of those being very important for your overall mental health. That physical illness one at the top, especially because if you're like me and you've had a diagnosis for mental health and it's something you need to take medication for, if you stop and think, please, am I taking care of myself? Physical illness, am I making sure my knee brace is on when I'm doing stuff so I don't tweak my knee? Am I making sure I'm taking my mental health medications? Am I making sure that when I'm in pain, I'm taking something for it? Did you know that you can damage your brain with too much pain? And it's something I didn't know anything about until I struggled to maintain my pain management. And they would take MRIs of my brain, and it would look kind of hazy and look like there were ripples and stuff. And I asked what all of those lines and wavy patterns of white was on my brain, and my doctor told me probably pain. And I didn't know that I actually hurt my internal organs by just sitting with pain and going, "Oh, I'll deal with it. It's bad, but I'll just get through it. I won't take the naproxen. I won't do some of the things that I know that will help this." And those were all really poor choices I was making, which is why my values weren't actually adding up if I valued health. Yet I wasn't giving myself what I needed to not be in pain and actually feel like a normal human being. I'm doing a disservice to that. So really, do I value health? Because my actions don't show it. These three skills, mindfulness, halt, and please, help me at the very basic when I'm at my lowest to maintain at least an overall good outlook of life. Um, it gives me something to focus on. Like, it could feel like the world is burning all around me. But if I take care of one of these things that might be going on, I have to ask myself first, which means I really have to get in touch with my body, which means I need to be mindful, not go, "Oh my God, why does my neck hurt?" Don't judge it. My neck hurts. Maybe I slept wrong. Let's do something about it. Maybe a naproxen will help. Maybe stretching it out. Maybe now is a good time to do some yoga. This is the way I try to think now. And halt and please allow me to get to problem solving what is going on with me in the moment. Mindfulness keeps me in the moment to be able to solve the problem. I don't know if these skills will help you, but they do help me, and they do help me keep myself spiritually in tune as well. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. And until next time, light and love, friends.